Now let's start our contract. The first struct that I'm going to create is vault signer capability. It's going to have a key, and we are going to say cap account signer capability. We created this struct to be able to sign the transactions in behalf of the vault. Since the vault is going to have its own address, we are going to create a system where the admin actually can accept, or let's say can act on behalf of the vault. And for that reason, we created this struct which is going to have this signer capability from account, and this signer capability will give us the ability to actually sign transactions on behalf of the vault. And we are going to call this vault signer capability. It has a key, so it's an object. We are going to transfer this to admin during the initialization. Continue with the init function. Let's say init module. We are going to have a resource account, and we are going to take the signer as the parameter. Now let's say resource account address, and here we are going to get the address of the resource account. We are going to say signer address of, and we are going to pass the resource account here. We are going to return the address of the signer, and we are going to use this as our resource account. So whoever actually deploys this contract will be the admin. Now we are going to create a resource account, and this resource account is specifically for the vault. So I'm going to say let vault signer cap. These are the return types of the function that we are going to call, and we are going to say from account, let's call create resource account, and we are going to pass our resource account address, and also we are going to give a name here. Let's say vault, and now we are going to get the vault address, and we are going to say signer address of vault signer. Now we created our resource account here, and we use our admin's address for it. After that, we got our vault signer, and through this vault signer, we got the address. It's just like trying to get the address from the signer as we did here. Now we created the signer for the vault, and then we got the address, and this will be our vault's address. Now what we need to do is we need to register this vault's address so that it can actually work with Aptos coin. For safety measures, Aptos doesn't let addresses to work with coins if they are not registered. For that reason, first we are going to check if it's registered, and if it's not, we are going to register this address. Let's say now, here we first checked if the account is registered or not. We are going to call this isAccountRegistered function from coin, and we are going to pass this generic parameter for Aptos coin. So what it's going to do is it's going to check if this account is registered to use Aptos coin. And when we say if this account, we are talking about this vault address here. So again, from coin isAccountRegistered, which coin you are going to work with or token. We want to work with Aptos coin and for this address. And if this is not the case, and that's why we have this nuts in the beginning. So if this situation is not true, then we are going to register this address by calling register function from coin. And again, we are going to pass this Aptos coin. And finally, we are going to pass this vault signer. So we want to register this signer. This is for the safety measures. so that only the registered accounts can use Aptos coin or any coin that you want to create in this network. Now what we are going to do is we are going to pass this vault object to the vault signer. For this we are going to call the move to function. Inside this we are going to say vault signer, so we want to move it to the vault signer, and here we are going to actually create our vault struct. Let's say admin will be the resource account. We have the vault address, so I don't need to say vault address, that's why I just said vault address. We have the allocations, and we are going to create a new table for the allocations. I'm going to say table new. Then we have total allocated, which will initialize as 0. We have the total balance, which also will be 0. And next we have allocation made event, or let's say events, because there will be multiple. And I'm going to say account new event handle. So to store the events, we are going to create this event handlers. Once we create the event, we are going to store it in here. And after calling this, I'm going to give the name of the event, allocation made event, and finally we are going to pass the vault signer. I know it looks complicated, but again, if you think about it, we are creating an event handler with this new event handle function, and we use this from the account, and we give the name of the event that we want to actually use, and finally we pass the signer that will be associated with this event. And let me create the rest of them. Now we have created our vault struct. We have the admin, we have the vault address, we have the allocation table, total balance, total allocated, and we also have our events. And also we moved this vault to the vault signer, so the vault signer will be the owner of this vault. This vault signer will have its own address, but we are going to have an admin account that can actually work or perform as the signer instead of this vault signer. So here we have our resource account, which is the signer, and this will be our admin. After we got the address, we passed in here so that we can actually sign the transactions behalf of the vault. Since the vault will be a separate account, we need someone to make this signing for the vault, and that's what we are doing here. And finally, after we did all this, we need to pass this signer capability to our admin. And for that, we are going to say move to, and we want to move this to resource account, and we are going to create this vault signer capability. We are going to have the cap as the vault signer cap. If you remember, we got the vault signer cap here. That's the time to use it. Now we created two different objects, one for the vault and one for the signer capability. And that will be all for our init function. So again, to summarize it, what we did is we actually created a new resource account, and we said that, okay, our admin, our signer of this transaction will work as the one who is going to sign the transactions on behalf of the vault. And then we registered our vault address so that it can accept Aptos coin. And then we created our vault object and moved it to the vault signer. Now our vault signer, which we created as a resource account, has this vault object. Finally, we created this vault signer capability and we moved it to our resource account, which is our admin, so that our admin can actually sign transactions on behalf of our vault. It can look a little bit complicated, but during this contract, I think you are going to be more comfortable with this concept. And actually, this was the hardest concept in this contract. If you are okay till now, then you can relax. It's just going to get better from here. So again, thank you very much for listening to me on this video. In the next video, we are going to start implementing our functions.